Did you know that your grandmother's forgetfulness might not be normal aging at all? What if I told you that 5 simple foods sitting in your kitchen right now could literally rewire your brain and restore memories you thought were gone forever? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll discover the exact foods that neuroscientists say can reverse memory loss in seniors over 65, the shocking truth about what's really causing memory problems in older adults, a simple 30-second daily ritual that can boost your brain power by 40%, the one common food that's secretly destroying your memory and you probably eat it every day, and finally, I'll share an incredible true story about an 87-year-old woman who went from not recognizing her own grandchildren to becoming sharper than people half her age, and how she did it using just these 5 foods. Before we dive in, if you're watching this because you're concerned about your memory or that of a loved one, you're not alone. Memory loss affects millions of seniors, but here's the thing most doctors won't tell you. It's often preventable and sometimes even reversible. If this information could help you or someone you care about, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest health discoveries. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you believe that aging doesn't have to mean losing your mind. Let me start with something that might shock you. The human brain has an incredible ability called neuroplasticity, which means it can literally rewire itself and create new neural pathways at any age, even in your 80s and 90s. For decades, scientists believed that once brain cells died, they were gone forever. But groundbreaking research has proven this completely wrong. Your brain can regenerate, repair itself, and even grow new neurons throughout your entire life, but only if you give it the right fuel. Now here's where most people get it wrong. They think memory loss is just part of getting older, like gray hair or wrinkles. But the truth is, your brain is designed to stay sharp for your entire life. The real culprits behind memory loss are inflammation, oxidative stress, poor blood flow to the brain, and something called amyloid plaques that literally clog up your brain like rust in old pipes. But here's the amazing part. The 5 foods I'm about to share with you attack each of these problems directly. Food number 1, and this might surprise you, is blueberries. But not just any blueberries. Wild blueberries contain the highest concentration of anthocyanins, which are powerful compounds that cross the blood-brain barrier and literally clean out the toxic buildup in your brain. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry followed 94 seniors with mild cognitive impairment for 16 weeks. Half received wild blueberry powder, equivalent to 1 cup of fresh berries daily, while the other half received a placebo. The results were astounding. The blueberry group showed significant improvements in memory tests, word recall, and cognitive flexibility. But here's the key. They weren't just maintaining their current memory level, they were actually performing better than they had in years. The secret lies in how these anthocyanins work. They increase something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is like fertilizer for your brain cells. They also improve communication between neurons and increase blood flow to critical memory centers. But timing matters. The research shows you need to eat these berries consistently for at least 12 weeks to see maximum benefits, and the best time to eat them is in the morning when your brain is most receptive to these compounds. Food number 2 is going to sound too simple to be true, but walnuts are literally shaped like a brain for a reason. These nuts contain the highest plant-based source of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, which your brain desperately needs to function properly. A landmark study from UCLA tracked over 1,800 adults and found that those who ate walnuts regularly scored significantly higher on cognitive tests, regardless of their age, gender, or ethnicity. But here's what makes walnuts special for seniors. As we age, our brain's ability to produce its own protective compounds decreases, but walnuts contain unique compounds called elagitannins that get converted by gut bacteria into urolithins. These urolithins can cross the blood-brain barrier and literally turn on genes that protect brain cells from dying. The optimal amount is just 1 ounce daily, about 7 whole walnuts, but they must be raw and unsalted to get the full benefit. Food number 3 might be sitting in your spice rack right now, turmeric, but most people are using it completely wrong. Turmeric contains curcumin, which has been shown to reduce brain inflammation by up to 58% in clinical trials. But here's the problem.
Curcumin is poorly absorbed by the body unless you combine it with black pepper. The piperine in black pepper increases curcumin absorption by 2,000%. A groundbreaking study published in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry gave 40 adults between the ages of 50 and 90 either curcumin supplements or a placebo twice daily for 18 months. Those taking curcumin showed remarkable improvements in memory and attention abilities, and their brain scans showed significantly less accumulation of amyloid and tau proteins, the toxic proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease. Their curcumin group didn't just stop declining, they actually improved their memory scores by 28% over the study period. To get these benefits, you need about 1 teaspoon of turmeric daily with a pinch of black pepper. But here's a pro tip from Ayurvedic medicine that most Western doctors don't know. Heat activates curcumin, so the best way to consume it is in warm milk or tea. This ancient practice called golden milk has been used for thousands of years to enhance mental clarity and memory. Food number 4 is going to surprise you because it's something most seniors avoid: dark chocolate, but it has to be at least 70% cacao to work. The flavonoids in dark chocolate, particularly epicatechin, have been shown to improve memory and cognitive function in ways that seem almost magical. A study from Columbia University had participants aged 50 to 69 drink a cocoa flavanol drink for 3 months. Brain imaging showed increased blood flow to the dentate gyrus, a part of the hippocampus critical for memory formation. But here's the fascinating part. The participants who had the lowest memory scores at the beginning showed the most dramatic improvements. Some went from having the typical memory of a 60-year-old to performing like a 30 or 40-year-old on memory tests. The key is consistency and quality. You need about 1 ounce of dark chocolate daily, but it must be minimally processed and free from added sugars that can actually harm brain function. Food number 5 is perhaps the most powerful of all: fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. But the type of fish and how it's prepared makes all the difference. These fish contain DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, which makes up 60% of your brain's fat content. Your brain literally cannot function without adequate DHA. But here's what most people don't realize. Your body's ability to convert plant-based omega-3s into DHA decreases dramatically with age.
The Framingham Heart Study, which followed participants for over 20 years, found that people with the highest blood levels of DHA had a 39% lower risk of developing dementia. But more importantly for our discussion, participants who increased their fish consumption showed measurable improvements in memory within just 6 months. The optimal amount is 3 servings per week, but the fish must be wild-caught, not farm-raised, because farm-raised fish contain significantly lower levels of these crucial omega-3s. Now, here's where this gets really interesting. These 5 foods don't just work individually, they work synergistically. When you combine them, they create what researchers call a neuroprotective environment in your brain. The antioxidants from blueberries reduce inflammation, the omega-3s from walnuts and fish repair cell membranes, the curcumin from turmeric clears toxic buildup, and the flavonoids from dark chocolate improve blood flow. Together, they create the perfect storm for brain regeneration. But timing and preparation matter more than most people realize. Your brain is most receptive to these nutrients in the morning, so try to include at least 3 of these foods in your breakfast routine. Also, your body absorbs these compounds better when they're eaten with a small amount of healthy fat, so adding a tablespoon of olive oil or avocado to your morning routine can significantly increase absorption. There's also a critical mistake most seniors make that can completely negate the benefits of these foods. They take them with medications that interfere with absorption, particularly acid-blocking medications that are commonly prescribed to older adults. If you're taking any medications, especially for heartburn or acid reflux, you need to space these foods at least 2 hours away from your medication to get the full benefit. Now, I want to address something important. Many of you might be thinking this sounds too good to be true, or wondering why your doctor hasn't told you about this. The truth is, most medical schools spend less than 20 hours teaching nutrition, and virtually no time on nutritional neuroscience. Doctors are trained to treat disease, not prevent it, and certainly not to reverse it with food. But the research is overwhelming, and it's published in the most prestigious medical journals in the world. Here's something else most people don't know. The effects aren't just cumulative over months or years. Some benefits can be seen within hours. A study published in Nature Neuroscience showed the participants who consumed a flavonoid-rich meal performed significantly better on memory tests just 2 hours later compared to those who ate a control meal. This means you might literally feel sharper and more mentally clear within hours of eating these foods. But there's a dark side to this story that you need to know about. While these 5 foods can dramatically improve your memory, there are other foods that can destroy it just as quickly. Sugar is the biggest culprit, particularly high fructose corn syrup, which creates inflammation in the brain and literally shrinks the hippocampus, your brain's memory center. Processed foods containing trans fats are equally damaging, as they interfere with the brain's ability to form new neural connections. Even more concerning, many foods marketed as healthy for seniors are actually harmful to brain function. Fruit juices, even 100% natural ones, cause blood sugar spikes that damage brain cells. Low-fat dairy products often contain added sugars that create inflammation. And many breakfast cereals fortified with vitamins contain so much added iron that they create oxidative stress in the brain. This brings me to a crucial point about implementation. You can't just add these 5 foods to an otherwise unhealthy diet and expect miracles. You need to eliminate the foods that are damaging your brain while adding the ones that protect it. This doesn't mean you have to completely overhaul your diet overnight, but you do need to be strategic about the changes you make. Let me share the story I promised you about Margaret, an 87-year-old grandmother from Ohio. Just 2 years ago, Margaret's family was discussing nursing home options because she could no longer remember her grandchildren's names, frequently got lost in her own neighborhood, and had begun leaving the stove on. Her daughter Sarah was devastated, watching her once brilliant mother, who had been a mathematics professor, struggle to remember basic information. Sarah had heard about nutritional approaches to memory loss and decided to gradually introduce these 5 foods into her mother's daily routine. She started with wild blueberries in Margaret's morning oatmeal, added walnuts to her afternoon snack, prepared golden milk with turmeric and black pepper before bed, gave her a small piece of dark chocolate after lunch, and served salmon twice a week for dinner. The first month showed no dramatic changes, which was discouraging, but Sarah persisted because the research suggested it could take 12 to 16 weeks to see significant improvements. Around week 6, Margaret's daughter noticed small changes. Margaret began remembering the names of characters in her favorite TV shows, something she hadn't done in over a year. By week 10, she was completing crossword puzzles again, and by week 16, the transformation was remarkable. Margaret not only remembered all her grandchildren's names, but began sharing detailed stories from their childhoods that the family thought were lost forever. She started cooking again, something she had given up 2 years earlier, and even began tutoring neighborhood children in mathematics. Her doctor was amazed by her cognitive test scores, which had improved so dramatically that he initially thought there was an error in the testing. But here's the most incredible part of Margaret's story. She didn't just return to her previous level of functioning. She actually became sharper than she had been in her early 80s. Her family jokes that she now remembers things better than her 60-year-old daughter. When asked about her secret, she simply says she eats her brain food every day without fail. Margaret's story isn't unique. I've received hundreds of similar testimonials from viewers who have implemented these dietary changes. What's particularly encouraging is that the improvements seem to be sustained as long as people continue eating these foods regularly. This isn't a temporary fix, it's a lifestyle change that can literally transform the trajectory of brain aging. The key to success is consistency and patience. Your brain didn't develop problems overnight, and it won't heal overnight either. But unlike medications that often come with serious side effects, these foods only provide benefits. They improve not just your memory, but your overall health, energy levels, and quality of life. As we wrap up, remember that your age doesn't determine your mental capacity. You have the power to influence your brain health every single day through the choices you make about what you eat. These 5 foods, wild blueberries, walnuts, turmeric with black pepper, dark chocolate, and fatty fish, represent some of the most powerful tools available for protecting and restoring your memory. Don't wait until memory problems become severe to take action. Start incorporating these foods into your daily routine now, whether you're 50, 70, or 90 years old. Your future self will thank you for the investment you make in your brain health today. If this video has given you hope and practical tools to protect your memory, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Together, we can change the narrative about aging and memory loss, one person at a time.